allowing the whiskey to give up its DNA, you will start to feel the impact of the sounds, the room, the smells, and the whiskey will connect with you from a point of view of the palate getting a lighter, fresher taste with the whiskey. And we're going to show you how that changes in the next two rooms. So I'm going to give you At Peace with the World and Soho and the first room, and I'll come back to you in about 3 or 4 minutes. Is that okay? Just relax, tune in, turn on, drop out. You have red berry fruits, and what we're trying to look at here is when you get to taste this whiskey for the second time, and I'm not putting words in your head, it'll taste different. And it'll taste different because your mind subconsciously is taking in all the elements that are in this room. And this is Charles Spence of Oxford University. So he was put this whole concept together. Initially he worked with Heston Blumenthal, creating the sounds of the sea, how you can create sounds and visuals to enhance the flavour of food appreciation. And the same does work with whiskey, or can work with whiskey, if you are willing to allow your mind and palate to take in other influences. So again, I'm going to hush my mouth, just take in the atmosphere, taste the whiskey, hold it in your mouth, and you will get, some of you hopefully will get some of that rich fruit sweetness, or what I call middle palate richness. And this is what will be enhanced by the room that we're in. Okay? As you can see, we end up in a room, what I call the woody room. Whiskey is matured in wood from between 3 years up to 50, 60 years, and it does have an effect on the whiskey. And when you taste the singleton of Duffton, initially on the nose when I taste it or smell it, I get what I call liquid fruitcake. I get rich fruit. Then in the mouth, I find that fruit, I can almost pin it down to like figs or dates. I call it that liquid fruitcake effect. But on the palate, on swallowing it, it becomes slightly bitter and dry, almost dark chocolatey bitter and dry. And that bitterness comes from the tannins in the wood. So this room has created a woody atmosphere. And what we tend to feel, what Charles Spence, who's put this together, tends to say is the music that you hear is kind of like bass notes, right? Rich bass notes. And subliminally, those rich bass notes emphasize the richness of the whiskey. Whereas the first room was more about aroma, and the second room was about sweetness and fruit and perfume and colour. Here, it's more about the density and the richness of the wood. And to sum it up, what this means is nobody here is saying this is the future, but we believe that bars and restaurants and clubs, etc., in the future will definitely look at the surroundings on how they're going to serve either food or drinks to enhance the multi-sensual experience. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes on your own just to take it in, sample the whiskey. The clocks are all wrong.